it's dark. So you can actually see I've brought a shotgun, because a good strategy is to let off a really loud weapon, and then all the enemies will come to you, and then for at least a little time you'll be able to move freely because you've killed everything close by. I'm actually surprised, at least in an enclosed area, how bright this is. I expected it to be... Oh no, I think someone mentioned that it was foggy. But at least here it looks okay. First casualty. Pray, damn it. I hope I don't end up like you. Although it looks like you got all your gear, so that's the best I can hope for. I've brought about 600k of other people's money for their own gear. And I've got about 250k of my own plus my gear set. So I may be overly confident about how this is going to go. After you jump over that wall, there's actually no way back, so I thought that I would throw a couple of flares just to illuminate that area there. But you can run back to this area here, which is sort of a safe zone, I suppose. These signal flares are awesome. I don't actually think it's any darker than the previous BM, as long as you come prepared. Now you might be wondering why I'm lighting these fires, and that is because of how dark a few people said BM was, and so I didn't really know what to expect. So my reasoning behind it was, if I bring a load of fires and sort of light them as checkpoints, then I always have somewhere to run back to that has a light source, if I don't get that flare gun out in time or things get a bit hairy. But I think this is fine. These flare guns are pretty good. I've managed to miss quite a lot just by going around the edge and keeping the wall on my right. That at least gives me a direction, which I'm not getting destroyed from if things get a bit hairy. But I'll just light another fire. I brought 8 fires with me, so they sort of act as checkpoints, as a constant source of light. And also I can see it in the distance, so if I get lost I can just run to a fire and then I know where I am. Oh, there's somebody else here. How did he stay so quiet? He must have been there for ages. But I won't concern myself with that. Get another fire up. Let's have a chat.
Mate, is there any way to regen blood quicker? I'm fucking almost dead. I can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, saline.
Oh yeah, I put sail in, yeah. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
wait. I was up on that rock, man, and I'm obviously bear was below, and he fucking flew up
How
onto
long
the
have you been
ledge,
in here?
knocked me out. I came in right after restart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look pretty messed up now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got some stuff to do. If you're proper messed up, just stay here, man, and heal up. Don't go
Yep.
taking any
That's my
risks.
plan.
Now I have saline and I have a blood bag which he could use, but I'm so glad I didn't give it to him. And you'll see in a while why that is. But sorry, Dez, love you. I don't want to show you any trader prices. I think I spoiled enough for you. So I realised at this point I was actually going through my flare gun ammo really quickly, and so I just wanted to conserve that. I did chuck a glow stick, but they're absolutely useless if they're not attached here. So I was just playing throw and catch with my own road flares. This was stupid. This is a mistake that will get you killed. This wasn't actually my gun. This was one of the mags that I had was really damaged. For some reason I don't know, in the moment I just unjammed it and carried on. I think I was expecting something else to come at me. There's so many noises and I just totally forget to clean that mag with a gun cleaning kit. See how bright these flares are? usually when I've been in a team of people to BM, I'm always the one with a flare gun, because it's almost the most important thing you can bring. You have to be able to see. So if you've got some experienced players that you're fairly confident aren't going to shoot you in the face, then you should be fine. Just flare out, bring, I don't know, 50, 100, they're cheap. You know, if you've got a mil each on you in loot, then it doesn't really matter how much you spend on flare gun ammo, so. You see that, look, a second encounter now, and because I didn't clean it the first time, somehow it's done me again, and that's another situation in which I could have died in. It's such a nubby mistake, and I make loads of them here. My butt is clenching right now. I'm running out of flares, and all that surrounds me is bears. I went in the water earlier, which is why my fires are now soaked, so I'm totally out of fires now. Although having done this first BM run, you don't need the fires. You really don't need the fires. I brought them because there was so much talk about how difficult it was, but I could do this in half the time, no problem. This is my 5,000 IQ moment. I was thinking that if I'm in a situation where I have no light and I can hear enemies around me, then I could just set off an egg timer in one direction and I'll be able to run in the other. Genius. The only problem is, it wasn't going off. So, I'll do another one. And I've actually set this at a lot sooner than the last one. But that one don't go off either. Now this is the most nubby mistake I've ever made in my life. The first one's going off, and I'm thinking, well, if that doesn't attract anything, then the other one won't, will it? I can hear a bear, but with all that racket, it must be far enough away that I can jump down, and I should be fine, right? to jump down. As soon as I pick it up, there. You couldn't write this. I'm stood here with a clock in my hand, like an absolute moron. Luckily I came prepared, so I've got the saline. Making this look a lot harder than it actually is. I really didn't want to use my flare gun, and so I tried as hard as I could just to roam around in the dark with the road flare, which I believe I run out of at this point. Do bear in mind that you can get unlucky spawns, you can get lucky spawns. No BM run will be the same, so I don't actually have any reference for how difficult this run is. I think I made it more difficult than it needed to be. You don't need any of the fires. I could have been quicker, which means you know you're not going to run into, or you're less likely to run into any enemies. But this could be an easy run. I don't know. You have to expect the unexpected. So this is mistake number 2. I was thinking if I shoot the bear before it notices me, then I might survive this encounter, but actually what I didn't take into account is that I'm holding a 5.56 weapon, and he's pretty close. You do have to be quite far away, because you can't stun a bear, you see, so if you have a 308 weapon it can be a little closer. At 338 it can be a little closer, although you do have to take into account that you can't let off as many rounds. For instance, if you wanted to kill a bear with a pistol, it may need to be in tizzy for you to be able to kill it before it gets to you in BM. It was just a lapse in judgment, but I paid for it because now I'm on the floor. Whatever you do in BM, never put your NBC gear in your hand and try and repair it from there. You always put the duct tape in your hand, or the sewing kit, or wherever it is. If you're in the mouse, you can do that with a ghillie suit as well. You can put the duct tape in your hand and you drag the item to the duct tape, and by Daisy jank you're still wearing it and fixing it at the same time. I did make this run a whole lot more difficult than it actually needed to be. Partly because I had so much of other people's money on me, and partly because after talking shit I had to survive. Otherwise I would have looked like an absolute tool. But I do think you could do this quite quickly. And if you've got a semi-good team, then this is no problem at all. So there you go. I'll take my trophy now.